What's going on, everybody? It's Kabaddi Keenan. So, for those of you who aren't football fans, American football, this Sunday is the biggest game of the year. It's the championship game, the Super Bowl, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have arguably the best player in the league right now in Saquon Barkley. And earlier in the season, the Jacksonville Jaguars were playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and Saquon had a catch and run play. And during this play, he made this insane leap over a defender that caught everyone by surprise, literally stunned the entire football world. Everyone was talking about it because no one had ever seen anything like it before. It was legitimately crazy. Like I will admit I'm still stunned, and I watched the play over and over again because I'm just in awe of how he was able to do something like that. Now, when I watched that play, it reminded me of a moment with Pawan Sehrawat, who's one of the best raiders of all time for the Pro Kabaddi League. And this play happened several seasons ago where he was playing with the Bengaluru Bulls at the time, and they were playing against the Patna Pirates. Now, in this moment, the Patna Pirates defense looked like they had him dead to rights, but he made this insane jump over them, which is probably the jump and I think the moment that got him dubbed as the high flyer, where it just completely took everyone off guard. I'm pretty sure that it was the first time anyone had ever seen something like that before in Pro Kabaddi. And so when I watched that play with Saquon Barkley and it reminded me of Pawan, it literally made me think, oh, Pawan is the Saquon Barkley of Pro Kabaddi. And so that's why I wanted to do this video, just because I find it interesting that there's a similarity between these two players in two completely different sports. And to me, it just bridged these two worlds that I love so much. You know, I love football. I played it for a long time growing up. And I just discovered Kabaddi fairly recently and have absolutely come to love the sport. And so I figured what better way to join these two worlds that I love so much by comparing two of the best players that have ever played in the league, their respective leagues before. So that's why I wanted to do this video, just because, again, I thought that these two players have a lot of similarities. One, the play that, again, I just talked about, those two plays. But two, Saquon just had one of the best seasons as a running back, single seasons as a running back, where he had 2,005 rushing yards, which is 100 yards less than the single season rushing total held by Eric Dickerson with 2,105. Now, Saquon could have probably broken this record. In all honesty, he probably should have. He didn't play the last game of the season because the Philadelphia Eagles were already in the playoffs and they didn't want to risk injury and have him out for the playoffs just to try and break this record. So he didn't play the last season of the game. He didn't play the last game of the season, which probably would have saw him break the record. So not only that, but there was also a game earlier in the season where I believe he sat out basically the whole fourth quarter because the Eagles were blowing out whoever they were playing, and he wanted the younger guys on the team to get playing time. So he sat out to make way for them, which obviously that's a great teammate move of him and shows the type of person and character that he has. So those two things literally kind of caused him not to break the single season record. Now, I'll bring a single season record up because Pawan also just fell short of the single best season by a Raider, only to Pardeep Narwal, who's in one season scored 364 raid points. Pawan fell just short of that one season, his best season yet as to date, where he scored 346 raid points. So both of these two players, in Pawan and Saquon, have had amazing seasons at their position. literally almost the best seasons at their position, but have fallen just short of that. And so that's another comparable that these two have, where they could have had the best season, but just fell short of it. And I think that that's something that, again, these two mirror. And the last thing that I'll say is that both of these players had an injury at one point in their career that took them out for the season. Saquon had his a couple years back, same with Pawan. Pawan's was 2 seasons ago, I believe. And they missed both seasons, but came back and have gone on to have great seasons after this. Again, we're seeing Saquon have his best season in his entire career. And so that's just another thing that I feel like these two players have in common. I think both of them literally carry this sort of like hope and this sort of awe that whenever they have an opportunity to do what they do, you literally kind of hold your breath because you're just waiting to see something special happen, because you just know that these two players carry the ability to do something special at any given moment. I mean, it's like whenever Saquon gets the ball, it's like, oh my God, we might watch something special happen right now. Same thing when Pawan crosses that line to raid, a defense. It's like we might see something really crazy happen right now. We're watching two great players do what they do best. And so I think that's just something that these two guys have in common, and I think literally are comparable to each other. Again, I think Pawan is literally the Saquon Barkley of pro Kabaddi. I just thought it was kind of like a fun thing to do. Again, this sort of bridges both these two sports that I really love. I follow a lot. Baseball's my favorite sport, but football is, again, I've grown up watching it. I played it for a long time. I've fallen in love with Kabaddi over the past couple of years. So I just thought that this was a kind of a fun and interesting video to potentially do, just because, again, I think these two guys are incredible players. I'm big fans of both of them. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with American football, I would encourage you to just go watch some highlights on YouTube. I mean, check it out. It's a great sport. I love it. So yeah, go check it out if you're unfamiliar with American football, and vice versa if you are unfamiliar with Kabaddi, pro Kabaddi specifically, because there are different variations of Kabaddi, but pro Kabaddi specifically, the league, if you're unfamiliar with the sport and the league, check out some highlights on YouTube. It's fun. It's great. I've shown my family and friends, and they all like it. They end up digging it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. If you happen to go check out some American football clips, highlights, and vice versa, if you check out some Kabaddi highlights, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you got to say. So anyway, hope you like this video. If you like, please like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the next one.